To get a nice back neck shaping, you're going to have to do some short rows. And this section is going to cover the math of those short rows.
All right, we've got to calculate short row turns. And actually calculating short row turns is really easy. It's placing them that's a bit of an art. So we're going to need our rows per inch. Mine is 7. We're going to need the back neck drop, which is 2 inches. We're going to multiply those two together. That's going to give us 14. Then we're going to divide that by 2. It's going to give us 7. That's how many short row turns I need for my 2-inch drop. Now here's how it works. This is how many inches you want to drop. This is how many rows per inch you have. If you multiply them times together, that gives you how many rows. But each of those rows is one short row turn. Do you see that? There's your turn, but it's 2 rows. So you have to divide the number you get by 2. So if you had, let's say you're working in something like a lot finer than my worsted, and you've got 14 rows per inch, and you only want to go down 1.5 inches, that's going to give you a whole different number. That's going to give you 21, and then you're going to divide that by 2, and that's going to give you 10. You can't count this. It's going to be, you can't count that. So it's going to give you 10. You see how the math works. It's going to give you the short row turns you need, but it's going to be very different than what I'm using. So I'm doing 7 short row turns over half my shoulder line is going to be here. I'm working half the front of the sweater. So I'm going to put my markers here. I'm going to do, the closer together they are, the more the turn is going to be vertical. The farther apart they are, the more the turn is going to be horizontal. So this is closer, this is farther. So I'm going to do 3 right against each other, no stitches in between, and then I'm going to do 1 stitch in between, and then I'm going to do 2 stitches in between, and I'm just going to set my markers so that I'm going to have a pleasing curve. Time to set the markers, and I set my markers right in the stitch. So I use gourd pins. The first marker is going to be 5 stitches from the end. Remember, we set our shoulder marker 1 stitch from the end, so that, remember we calculated our cast on and then we added 2 stitches. Well, there's one of those stitches. It's actually in front of the shoulder marker, so it's actually a front stitch, not a back stitch. And the same thing here. We put it 1 from the end, so this is a front stitch, and it's also the one where the column where we picked up our stitches for the front facing. So from the front, I'm going to count 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to place my gourd pin right in that stitch, and I'm going to do both sides at the same time, so I'm putting them exactly in the same places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it goes in the 5th stitch. So there we go, we have it in the 5th stitch. Now I'm going to place the next 2 markers here and here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to skip one. This is the one I'm skipping right here. See, I have a marker in this one. I'm skipping that one. I'm putting the marker in this one. Same over here. I've got my marker in this one. I'm skipping that one, and I'm putting a marker here. Now I'm going to skip 2, so my next one is going to go in. See, I'm skipping 2. I'm going to go in the third one here. Skipping 2. I have the wrong glasses on. This is really challenging. Okay, so now I'm going to skip 3. I've got see, I have 5 markers set. I'm going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. It goes in this one. One, 2, 3 goes in this one. Now I'm going to skip 4. Now this is the last set of markers I have to place. So when this is set to 4, I am done setting my short row turn markers for the back. And I can show you how to knit it up. And there we have it. All the markers are set. And you can see what it looks like. Now, this gives me a number of stitches for the back neck. So we're done. This looks good. We'll start knitting.